Good evening YouTube, so I'm back here with another video, and today it's gonna be the new guy Anze here, who is looking very nice and also actually a bit difficult to build, or at least different to build than some of the other heroes that we've seen lately. Now, if you just take a look at this guy and talk about his artwork here for a second, I believe this guy is one of the coolest looking heroes in the game that I've ever seen. I think they pretty much nailed it. Like, he is the Grim Reaper, the death guy, the whatever guy. This look here is absolutely insane. Also, let's talk about the avatar. It looks fantastic up there in the corner now. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be using that avatar, but I'm going to be using it as well because it just looks cool. It doesn't even look like it's from this game. It looks like something from another game or something, because it's definitely very pleasing. And it looks very nice. So that was the artwork here. Now let's talk about the exclusive 0 on this guy. Now I managed to pull him yesterday on my miracles tree to guarantee it, and I was very lucky to get that. So I thought it could be fun to try him out today. Now this is going to be a bit in reverse. Normally I do a hero build guide before I show the exclusive ones, 0, 1, 2 and 3. But this time I'm actually showing the exclusives, at least the exclusive 0, before I'm doing the hero build guide. And there's a pretty specific reason for that, is that I'm actually not too sure myself right now how to build this guy. Like, what is the proper build for him? I've been testing it for a few hours now, trying a few different things to see like how is he working. Can he do something on his own? Is he like capable of doing something? Or is he only like, is it mandatory to have other heroes helping him do some damage, right? And first of all, I'll just tell you that I've given him my Jingle Bell gear. Obviously, the attack here is a bit lower because Jingle Bell has breakthrough materials, and the speed is also lower and stuff like that because it's not the same base stats. But it is her gear that I put on him. The only thing is his artifact here. It is not leveled up to mythic yet. And yeah, it's just for this video here, I'm not going to level it up. But this is the gear that my Jingle Bell has at the moment. And you can see the stats here is crit capped with a bit more than crit cap, and then 320% crit damage. It's also a bit higher on my Jingle Bell, but I did not switch the blessings, so that is also one of the reasons, right? He's got no blessings on at the moment because for this test here I don't want to spend too many gems on switching blessings and stuff like that. The aura, I've just gone with this aura here, and there is a very specific reason for that, and the specific reason is that I'm going to compare him with my Margarita in just a moment, and she has this aura as well. So it's going to be a fair comparison just for that part of the video. Now, if we look at the other stats here, I believe these stats here are pretty achievable for most people, especially when the speed is so low. So at least if you're a mid and end game player, then you can get these stats, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, let's jump into it. So you can see that his stats is like this: 320% crit damage, 140% crit rate, and 46,000 attack. Now if you look, keep your eyes on the attack there when I switch to my Margarita. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes, you can see it's almost the same, actually just 50 attack between them, something like that. And she's a bit slower, but she also has 10% more crit damage, so I think it's pretty fair, to be honest. And she's in a fast killing set and a Devour set, and he is in double Devour. So let's jump into it here, and I want to show you something here that is quite interesting, I think, on exclusive 0. I'm just going to go into the guild boss 6 here, and the reason is that a lot of the other bosses either have some kind of mechanic or some extra buff, debuff, whatever, that makes it hard to see how much damage he's doing, okay? And I'm not going to pair him up with Marie at this moment for the penetration buff, because she can only give it to one person, and she'll give it to the one with the most attack. And in this case, it's going to be Anze, so we can't compare that to Margarita if she doesn't have it, right? So I'm going to use a Popper instead to get the tenacity down and the defense down, and then I'm just going with my Beatrix and Blaze here, just for a bit of fun. So let's see here, we're just going to do one attack each and see how much damage they do. And I'll talk about like, is that something you can count on, or can you use that for anything? We'll have to see, okay? So now, this ability here, we actually forgot to talk about his abilities, but his S2 here is the one single target that is going to hit hardest. Is going to do 480% attack damage, where his S4 here is only doing 360. But it's also going to steal some mastery, just not from bosses, so we cannot use it in this example here. It doesn't matter, won't do anything. So let's hit this one here, his attack, and now we're going to do the Margarita attack. And now we'll just go out here, exit, and see the damage done. Now, this is kind of interesting, I feel like, is that you can clearly see here that Margarita is doing more damage, single target on a boss, with like similar gear to Anze, who is exclusive 0 obviously, but no other difference other than he is actually in a double devour and she's not, so you can even argue that his gear is maybe a bit better. So I think what is interesting here is that you can see that Margarita is doing more damage than he is, at least on the first attack. And my point is that I think if you're thinking that this guy can absolutely go in and help you solo stuff by himself, then his attack multipliers is just not high enough, at least an exclusive 0. You'll need some eyes for him, and we can talk about that, I guess, just quickly here. I'm going a bit off topic about, I was supposed to just show you exclusive 0, right? But I'm going to incorporate a bit of a hero build in this one here, just for the matter of the video. Now, the reason is that why you want to have some stuff from him is actually, you can see here that his passive here, let's take it from the beginning here. Basic attack is doing 150% attack damage. His S2 is doing 480%. His S4 is doing 360%. Now, with exclusives though, exclusive 2, he's going to do another 200% of his self-attack the first time he attacks an enemy. And it also says that the Devour Life will be cast to the main target for one more time, which means that with exclusive 2, with exclusive 2, you can start off with the S4, which is the 360%, and then you get a free Devour Life as well, which is including 480%, plus the 200% actually giving you 1040% attack damage. So with exclusive 2, he will be able to do a lot more damage. But we will have to see when he gets exclusive 2 if he's scaling like I'm thinking and like I'm hoping. We'll have to see what happens if I manage to do, if I decide to use my eyes on him, right? I do have some eyes actually, and but I would have wanted Oliver or Arena instead, but I don't have those two, and I would have put the eyes on those. But I mean, you can only use your eyes on what you have, right? So we might as well just put the eyes on this guy, and then when we get an Oliver at some time, I'm gonna put the eyes on him. Now, that is one of the thing about him is that with exclusive 2, he's going to do a lot more damage in the opener. Now, you'll also want him to get into the resonance state, and to get into the resonance state, you'll need 20 points of resonance points, and you only get 1 point per enemy that your allies are hitting. So basically in PvP or somewhere else where you have 5 targets, you're gonna get 5 points each time someone does AoE attack. But against bosses, you'll only get 1 point. So it's pretty obvious to see that it's going to take 20 attacks from allies, including yourself, before you get the resonance status if you don't have exclusive 1. Now, if you have exclusive 1, it's going to help you a lot at the beginning of the battle, because it says here, when a battle starts, for every 25% crit damage owned by Anze, gains 1 resonance point. So let's say you have maybe 400, maybe that's too high. Let's just 300% crit damage. You're going to get at least, well, you're going to get a 16 resonance points then. So 300% crit damage when the battle starts, you get 16 resonance points, and you'll need 4 more, so that means you just need to wait until someone has attacked 4 times in total, and you'll go into the resonance stages. Obviously you would want to start in it, but that is just if you cannot get more than 300% crit damage, then you'll have 16 at least, and it's a lot better than starting with 0, right? So, but that is only for the beginning of the battle, and primarily probably for PvP thinking to do that, right? With exclusive 3, if you're just gonna go quickly over that, you'll also get some CC immunity, but you'll also want to start with resonance status for this one to work in PvP. So for PvP, you'll want the 500% crit damage, which is what you need from the beginning of battle to get the 20 points of resonance. So, and I calculated wrong, it's not 16, it's 12, it's only 12 resonance points, sorry, when you have 300% crit damage, right? Because you get 4 for 100%. So 500% crit damage is what you want at the beginning of the battle if you want to have resonance points stacked to the max, so that you can start out with this one here. And this one is his bread and butter. It's the Grim Reaper resonance thing. It's going to apply this hastened death debuff onto targets. It's a bit like Apsara's. It's basically the same, actually, just a mini version of it. And what it says here is that he'll apply it, and then the damage will be recorded. You do some damage to it. If you're fast enough to like overlap the target, and you put this debuff onto the target again, you'll just get all the damage first, like immediately, and then you'll apply another hastened death debuff. So it's pretty nice. And what we can see here is that actually, if we go into something that will last a bit longer than one turn on the guild boss, for example, this Wuthering Coast here, and we put him in here at exclusive 0, you can see that he manages to do some damage, but it's not from his own attack. This damage here is coming from his hastened death debuff that he applies with the resonance S4, and it kind of double dips. So that is also why Apsara is doing more damage, is because she gets the damage both from Marie and from Anze, and you can, if you add those two together, it's almost the same damage as Apsara has gotten, right? But also one of the reasons is you probably want to have Anze a bit quicker than Marie then, because you want him to apply the debuff before her. In my case, he is not faster than her at the moment, which is why I'm saying that I will be doing a build guide for him later on. I just need to test a few things first here today to see if he can do some damage, if he cannot do some damage, and if he needs to be faster or whatever. I'm testing it today. But you can clearly see here at exclusive 0, he can add some damage to your team. And it's very nice. Now, I have not tried him with the intro team actually to see if he can add something to that. So let's just try that and remove Xiao Jun here and put in the new guy here, and just to see, because then you can maybe spread these guys out here. So let's see if we focus on the Grim Reaper ability, can he do something? Let's see. Okay, yeah, so 2 billion damage is pretty decent, I guess. It's about the same as Moring Jing. And you have to remember that this is where he does not start with his resonant ability, so you need 20 attacks before he gets the first one, which is, I mean, out of 253, then 20 attack is around 10% of the duration. So it's a lot of time that you can save if you have exclusive 1 on him to get some extra resonance points from his crit damage, right? But I think this kind of nice. If you don't have better options than this, you can just put him in here, and it looks pretty cool on an intro team as well, if you ask me. So I think that is pretty good. Now that is, I think that is kind of what I want, because you can't use him in PvP at exclusive 0. You need exclusive 3, and you need it because you want to have him CC immune. He's just gonna be standing there doing nothing, and that'd be useless if you're not CC immune. At least in this meta these days here, because you have Giselle, you have all the freezes, you have all the stuns going around, you have all that. Obviously in early game maybe you can use him, but you want to have exclusive 3, I think, for PvP at least. And you also want exclusive 1 at least for PvP, so that you start out with the resonance thing, because otherwise you could just as well use a Margarita instead and should do the same, because he's not really applying any debuffs. He's not doing any debuffs, he's not doing anything that helps the team at exclusive 0. He's only focusing on his own damage, and you need the resonance status here to just put this hastened death thing on, and for that you need the resonance points. So exclusive 1, 2 and 3 is actually pretty mandatory if you want to use him in PvP, I'd say for sure. So, but anyways guys, that was just a short video talking about this guy here and showing you exclusive 0. I don't think he's like, I mean, at exclusive 0, there's really nothing to it. He is basically just a direct damage dealer with some extra capabilities. Obviously you saw in Wuthering Coast and stuff like that. He can do some damage. You can also put him into, we have this event at the moment, Broken Land here. And if you put him into at something like this team here, let's just do like this, you can see that he can do some damage. at Exusa 0, it's not that. I mean, almost 100 billion damage is quite huge. But yeah, I mean, he's doing more than Marie at least. But that's because of his thing there, and that's what we'll have to test. Like, does he just need to be faster, more crit rate? Maybe we don't have to focus on attack. Devour Key might be useless on him. Stuff like that, I'll test it, and then I'll do a hero build guide for you guys so that you know absolutely 100% how to build him, and so you don't do any mistakes like me. Okay? Alright guys, cheers, bye.